Hello and welcome to today's WorkSafe Month webinar, Powerful Resilience, Mental and Physical Health Through Heart and Mind Teamwork. I'm Stephanie Morawski from WorkSafe Tasmania and I will be your moderator. Before we start, please take a moment to read the following slide about information received today. I will now go over housekeeping. Here is a screenshot of the attendee control panel. You should see something that looks like this in the right hand of your screen. You're likely listening in using your computer speaker system by default. If you would prefer to listen over the phone, just select telephone in the audio pane and the dial-in information will be displayed. Webcams and audience microphones will not be used in today's webinar. Questions will be taken at the end of the presentation. However, if you would like to make any comments during the webinar, please use the questions pane on your control panel to type and submit those comments. There is also an attendee handout now available via your handouts pane for download. Finally, today's webinar is being recorded. I would now like to introduce your presenter, Klaus Baur, founder of Heart to Heart Foundation. Klaus works as a consultant, facilitator and therapist. He has organised and facilitated community-based and organisational heart workshops for over 10 years. He is trained with Canada's Inner Heart Solutions Group and has completed the US Heart-Based Institute's course in Heart-Based Therapeutics Practice. Klaus has assisted in the establishment of heart learning centres in various cities in Australia, as well as Berlin and Vienna. He is the founder, co-director of the not-for-profit Heart to Heart Foundation, dedicated to sharing about the heart's potential, meaning and importance to live a purposeful, happy and fulfilled life. Welcome, Klaus.
Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you everyone for your interest and for joining this afternoon. I feel really honored and humbled to share with you about some of the insights and some of the work I've done. And for me, the heart is very clearly associated with resilience. But let us move into the slides and explore this topic today. I hope I get a little smile from you about this gorgeous little picture, and you find some pictures throughout the presentation that I had put there to lighten up the presentation, make it more interesting. So what I would like to cover today, and there is some interactivity built into the seminar too, is to briefly touch on what is resilience, to look at the function of the brain and mind, to look at the heart, or the two hearts we want to talk about today. What is this heart? What does it do? How does it work? What actually is heart capacity building? Why is it perhaps important? Then looking at mind-based, heart-anchored resilience. How can those two components of us work together? Want to share some testimonials with you, and then looking at pathways, learning options. So really to leave you with choices if you choose to want to learn more about what, again, in an hour seminar we can really just touch upon. And finally, I have some couple of pictures, excuse me, images and slides about the book I wrote, which is really reflective of now no longer 10 years. I need to update my website. Is just about 20 years of experience. And in that light, this is other people saying to me, I'm actually quite a unique entity. Some person called me a couple of years ago a heart expert. So let us look at the meaning of resilience. And I have a slightly quirky or funny definition about resilience, but relevant to the power or ability of a material to return to its original form, position, etc. after being bent, compressed, or stretched. Elasticity. So this is some definition, and of course, perhaps more relevant to us is a more psychological definition of resilience as the ability to mentally or emotionally cope with a crisis, or to return to pre-crisis status quickly. Resilience exists when a person uses mental processes and behaviors in promoting personal assets and protecting self from the potential negative effects of stressors. Now, interesting here are two things I want to raise is, firstly, is the highlighting the mental processes that, excuse me again, we omit, that we have other components. We have the mind, the body, the heart, our emotional functions or emotional intelligence even. But also another thing, that resilience is something that we want to go back to, be normal again, be in a strong state perhaps. But also the implied in the second definition is perhaps that we can prevent. So there's a preventative function, and I hopefully can illustrate that further today. So how does the mind and heart work together? Let us start with the brain. And I'd like you to complete the first poll, which is quite simple. So just have a punt, have a guess, or you might know how much of your brain do you use at any given point on an average day in your life. Yeah. So just tick a box. And I'll just give you a couple of seconds. You just have a guess and then tick a box. And I will go back to the presentation then. Thank you, Stephanie.
All right, Klaus.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, this is does everyone see the poll?
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah, so this is interesting. Some people say, 9%, quite low number, 30% in the middle, and then, okay, it's a good spread. Thank you, everyone.
All right,
So
I'll go back to the slide.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you thanks for that. I was very interested to see that. So, because I didn't know the answer, to be quite honest, before I presented or before I prepared the slides. So research says, and this is, one piece of research presented in the Scientific American, that the majority of the brain is almost always active, even when we are performing just simple tasks. This can be measured in a certain way. And in fact, our brain is even active when we are resting or sleeping. So we're actually looking at a 80, 90, 100% activity all the time, which is massive. So let us jump forward then. So what do you associate with? I put a beautiful mind, and there's a movie out there which I haven't seen, but I just like you to think for a moment. What do you associate with a positive, a beautiful, a good mind? Spend a few moments thinking. I put a few things there, but they're not really too important. It's really what you associate with a positive mind. And let's jump forward to the next slide. So, but there's also other aspects that we associate with the mind or with the brain. The brain is the organ, the mind is the process of being active or thinking and working. So there's headaches, there's tiredness, there's overthinking, there's mental health issues or mental ill health. And perhaps the mind, or when the mind is too strong, there's something else coming in, like arrogance or other emotions. So the point I'd like to make is that it's very common to associate good and positive aspects with the mind, but also not so good or negative aspects. And actually what Stephanie didn't say, and I didn't want to share, I had a role over the past few years as a consultant, but also as a senior officer in mental health. So mental health has been quite close to my journey over the last few years. Now, I'd like you to have some fun with that, or try, but please don't get angry with me for doing that. And I will also add another aspect to it. Try to work out one or two of those questions or formula or tasks. And please don't use your computer or calculator on the computer or the phone. Just have a piece of paper, a notepad, or use your just use your head to try and work it out. And as you try and work it out, I say perhaps that I've tried to make the webinar interactive and also experience-based. So as you participate, you have a choice to participate in like an exercise like that, and then we have a journey of experience that goes with the webinar. So I'll just give you a few more seconds for you to work out what the answer is. But before we progress, so I want to pause everyone now. So put the pen down, or well, stop thinking, something like that. Spend a few moments just to connect with where is your energy now. Where's the energy when you try to work out what is 39 times 24? When you try to work out what is 235 times 125? And if you want to make a comment, just make a comment, and then Stephanie, you can read out maybe 2 or 3 comments people make. So where's the energy? Where's the busyness, some pressure? Where are you working? When being
So
asked.
a couple of
please.
comments, Klaus. Yes, so wanting to work it out, behind the eyes, brain power, concentrating hard on the numbers only.
Fantastic. Okay, those comments sort of indicate that I'm using a different language now, yeah, but we are pulled up into what we are familiar with, our mind, our brain, and there's some tension there. Like the comment, there's something pressure building up around the eyes, etc. It can be different experiences, yeah. And of course, because I asked you such a cute little question to work this out, there's an answer there in case you're excited to work out what the answer is, yeah. But the point was more to get you to feel what is happening when we are given a task that obviously, inverted commas, challenges us. Let us jump forward. So now let us look at the heart. Yeah. And before we do this, let me just go. Yeah, let us do this poll again. Yeah, so Stephanie, if you can bring the poll up. How much of your heart do you use on average? Just pick an average day. You can pick today or the best day during the week today. How much of your heart do you believe or know that you use?
And just while responses are coming through, if anyone has had problems downloading the handout, that handout, I should say, sorry, will be emailed to attendees at the end of the session.
Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, a couple more seconds to tick a box. Just have a crack at it, and then Stephanie, if we could see the results in a moment too.
Absolutely, Klaus. I'll close the poll, everyone, and share the results.
Fantastic. I really like to see that. So everyone already has some sense. I am using my heart to a certain percentage. Wonderful. Terrific. Thank you for that. Now, I think I have put a third poll there that already takes us into the topic of the heart. Yeah. So Stephanie, if you could bring the next poll up, and again, everyone, just take it with a grain of salt, have a crack at it. Try to complete this poll before we do any heart exercises. So we will do some practical heart exercises. You're invited to. Yeah, but just how do you feel now? So this is taking stock now. How do you feel now? And please just tick one of those. And again, perhaps 5 more seconds, Stephanie.
All right, I'll close the poll and share the results, Klaus.
Thank you. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, everyone. And we actually do the same exercise, the same poll at the end of all the exercises. So it would be interesting if we could compare the two, but I'm not too sure technically whether we can do that. Okay, let me jump. Yeah. So what do we associate with the heart? Similar to the question before, I won't put anything up. So what do you associate with the heart? And just do a little brainstorm, little heart storm. And then I pop a couple of things up, yeah? So this is not necessarily what I would say, but they're just kind of things people have said in workshops in the past. Yeah, and there's a mixture of inverted commas, positives, negatives, soft, weak, loving, feminine, unreliable, intelligent, and so on. Yeah. So there's research done by a number of institutes, which I just wanted to list here, and you'll get all of that in your handouts. Stephanie referred to some of them before, and some of them have done research for up to 30 years or even over 30 years now. So let us look at this heart a bit more. And I pick one piece of research and how the research is presented. It's from the first group, actually the last one, the fourth one. The HeartMath Institute put out a cute video, and quite beautiful video. And so Stephanie, if you could please show the video.
Our energetic or spiritual heart is an access point for our natural inner technology. The heart's intuitive intelligence, which can elevate our communications, decisions, and choices to a much higher level of effectiveness. One interesting finding from our research is that when people hold genuine core heart feelings such as appreciation or compassion, it naturally increases their heart coherence. We use the term energetics to refer to the systems that we can't see or touch. For example, our thoughts, emotions, and intuitions. The mind and heart feelings are energetic sources that underlie our thoughts and emotions. They're primary drivers of our biological systems and have a powerful influence on our behaviors, choices, and results. The intuitive energetic heart is what people have associated with their inner voice throughout history. From our perspective, the energetic heart communicates a steady stream of intuitive information to the mind and brain, which in most cases we only use a small percentage of, because our ego choices overrides the intuitive suggestion. Access to our heart's intuition varies among people, yet we all have it. As we learn to slow down our mind and attune to our deeper heart feelings, our natural intuitive connection can occur. Intuition is like energetic gold. Intuitive insights often unfold more understanding of ourselves, others, issues, and life than years of accumulated knowledge. That's why the state of coherence is rapidly gaining interest. In this state, more and more people are reporting increased access to their heart's intuitive guidance, realizing it's within them, and with a little practice, it's easier to access than they thought. Research conducted in our laboratories has confirmed that when an individual is in heart coherence, the heart radiates a more coherent electromagnetic energy field that can benefit people, animals, and the environment. A growing body of scientific evidence suggests that when there is coherent group cooperation, it results in increased flow, effectiveness, and the potential for higher outcomes. It seems as though the group participants are not only in sync, but are communicating on an unseen energetic level. Our personal coherence can benefit our families, co-workers, friends, pets, and more, simply by our presence. From our research, we know that heart coherence is not an idle state. It reaches out, it influences and supports others in many beneficial ways.
Thank you, Stephanie. I guess I wanted to share that video clip to gain access to something which is this energetic, this second heart, energetic heart, the intuitive heart. and the function they attribute, the heart map attribute, makes to the energetic heart, whether it's in terms of work or in terms of our family or personal life. So let us move forward then. Yeah. So this is, in a sense, an opening slide. So we have two hearts. We have the physical heart that the medical profession is very familiar with, and of course, very important organ. And then, as this clip refers to, we have a non-physical, second, energetic, true heart. Different terms being used by it. The term is not that important. And a couple of nice quotes, which start to take us on the journey of what does the heart facilitate, or what are the core heart feelings. And Rumi is a bit of a philosopher. He's long passed away from the ancient Persian region. Yeah, he clearly associates the heart with a huge love, a huge deep feeling of love. And Chris Hadfield refers to the heart as something that's important, which we commonly know to follow, to listen to. So let us have a look how this heart works in terms of, maybe I jump forward a little bit and look at what the heart is. Yeah. So this energetic heart is our center of feeling. And we kind of know that because people say to us, I love you, or with all my heart, or in the heart of hearts, I know this is right. So we feel their feelings, yeah. And there's sayings also around happiness. I am happy in my heart. In fact, if someone says I am happy in my brain, something would not quite be right. So center of love, compassion, we know about that. Center of calmness. Interesting, we can have a peaceful mind, but we can also have peace in our heart, both. Happiness, I have not heard many quotes that attribute happiness to something else other than the heart. But also, again, as the clip stated, as a source of inner knowing, intuition, or an equal or deep intelligence or heart intelligence. Yeah. But before we jump forward, I'd like to invite you to a second exercise, similar to the mathematical exercise. Now, I invite you to participate, of course, up to you to participate or not. Very simple exercise. I would like you to be quite relaxed and then close your eyes. So this is me just explaining the exercise. Close your eyes and then think of a special, beautiful, joyful moment you've experienced in the recent past or further back. Yeah, the event not that important. You just choose one. Yeah, so if you want to participate in something like that, then please make yourself comfortable on your chair or wherever you are. Close your eyes and then think of a special moment, beautiful moment, joyful moment you've experienced any time in your past. And please choose a moment. Often one comes to mind, just choose that one. And then when you have that moment, just re-experience the feelings you had in that moment. So don't be too occupied with the details of the moment. Just re-experience the feelings you had in that moment. And then with your eyes still closed, if you participate, yeah. With your eyes still closed, just realize, feel now, where is activity in your body? Where do you feel that memory? Where does energy take place? Where does something happen? And again, I invite you to make a couple of comments. You know, if you reduce it to a couple of words, that would be good. And Stephanie, if you're happy to read out the first 2, 3, 4 comments, that would be wonderful.
Absolutely, Klaus. So one comment, muscles relaxing.
Yeah. You have one comment only?
Oh, no, another one has come through. warmth in my chest. I
Yeah.
feel it in my mind and chest, and I smile.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Flutters in my heart.
Beautiful. Yeah. That's about 4 comments. Yeah. Again, important. You feel it, you realize, and everyone has slightly different experiences, but it allows me to explain one more function of the heart, that the heart has a memory of everything we've experienced. Yeah, and we say in the English language loosely, learn it by heart. Yeah. So the heart has a memory. So in moments you remember that special moment you recalled, your heart will respond. Your heart will have a positive response. It will want to expand. It will want to radiate. It will want to just become more prominent there than it normally perhaps is in our daily life. And it's often a beautiful feeling, and you can feel that. And so quite a few of you said you feel it somewhere in the chest, and that's where the heart is located. Not just the physical heart, also the energetic heart. Yeah. I'd like to do the next exercise. Yeah. So if you participated, you can participate again, please. You might, participate second time. It's quite a nice little exercise. Yeah. So this time we just do the same again, but we add relax and smile as one variation. And we add a second variation after some time. Now watch the feeling. And then again, relax and smile. So I want to go somewhere with that. So, and I coach you a little bit through that. So if you're happy, then please, again, the invitation is to relax on your chair, close your eyes. Maybe take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And then again, think of a special, beautiful moment. Can be the same one you've experienced sometime in your past. And then again, let go perhaps of any tendency to want to work out details, what happened then, and allow yourself to experience more the feeling you had during that beautiful, joyful, special moment. Experience the feeling more than try to work something out. And now just notice the feeling again, whatever you feel, how you feel it. And similar than as one person said, just relax, make sure your body is relaxed, or allow yourself to be even more relaxed. And start to smile if that's okay for you now. Just relax and smile. Just relax and smile and notice what is happening to the feeling when you relax and smile. The strength, quality of the feeling. And then we change the task. I'd like you now, with your eyes closed, please, observe the feeling. As if you want to monitor something very closely or closely. And of course, it's an inner monitoring. So observe, watch the feeling, and notice as you observe and watch what is happening to the feeling. Then again, let go of any of that watching, observing, and just relax and smile again. And as you just relax and smile and let go everything else, perhaps, notice again what is happening to the feeling in, around your heart, your chest, or wherever you feel it. Yeah, I don't want to determine or specify. And then again, just, I don't know what to say, be relaxed, open your eyes. And I'd be very grateful if you type again, what did you feel? Either in general, what did you feel, or how do you feel now? Or if there was a specific response when you were relaxing and smiling, or when you were watching, observing that feeling, you're welcome to type that too. Just a couple of words, or whatever, of course, you can type fairly swiftly.
A few responses coming through, Klaus. Lower tension, calm, tingling fingers, Very relaxed muscles, let go, clear mind. I feel at peace. Again, I feel it in my mind, my chest, and smile, and it spreads warmth through my chest, down my arms, and into my hands.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you everyone for participating. This is very beautiful, and I tried to respond to a couple of the comments. And I respond to the one where the person said, I feel it in my chest and in my head. Yeah, I sometimes say, this is, of course, you know, I don't even have a belief in that way, but I say, it's God-given that we have a heart and we have a mind and we have a body, yeah, or it's given by Darwin, I don't know, up to you, yeah. So it's important for both to work, yeah. So, and for me, I'm particularly interested in the heart-mind collaboration. So neither or, yeah, or not favoring one of them. So it's really beautiful. And of course, what then another person has shared is, I feel more calmness. I also, some of you will probably feel as the heart gets engaged with an exercise like that, you feel your mind is less busy than normal. You feel calmer. Your heart will start to do something that your heart does. It will start to radiate. And so some of you will feel warmth in the body away from the heart, like tingling here and there. Similar to the video clip has shown that radiance, that energetic activity of the heart. So some of you starting to experience that. But please don't be concerned if you did not even participate, or if you not felt anything significant or even noticeable. It is not, from my perspective, not that important. We are starting, number one. Number two is also, you feel it or not, underneath all of that, the heart is working. It always is there. Now, we've gone already through the points here, so I want to, after this exercise, go further into the working of the heart. So this is what many people don't know. The moment you engage your heart, it will start to unburden you. So resilience has to do with that inner strength. How much past package is there? How much past stress? How much past heavy emotions, negativities? And this is a process, additionally to any mental processes that is available, which is a very powerful unburdening tool. When I do the work with the Heart-Based Institute, the heart-based therapeutics work, I sometimes have clients with very serious trauma. And it's, for me, something very special to share. And in several sessions, I've made some strong inroads in helping people. This is the strength of the heart, unburdening when we do deeper work. Yeah. The heart also is center of authenticity. So when we are coming from a place of mind and heart, we are more the complete self of who we are. This is why a famous business consultant, psychologist, Stephen Covey, many of you will recognize the name. He wrote the best-selling book, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. Sorry, highly effective people. He talks about the heart over 100 times in the book. Because he realizes when we engage at work or privately, the heart brings that genuineness to what we say and how we say it. And flowing on from that, it can facilitate team processes similar to what the video shared. I'm also very passionate about, and I work individually with people, it builds very high level leadership competencies. I mentioned Covey. Some of you will know Jim Collins and his best-selling work, Good to Great. So Collins in his book Good to Great refers to an inner black box. And why black? Because it probably goes by the aeroplanes and so on. Because he says there is a center of intelligence and emotional capability. We don't know what it is, but it's that center that facilitates what, according to his terminology, a great leader. And great leader is a little bit misleading if you don't know the work. They are people that are humble, that can engage other managers, other senior people, and the whole staff team in ways that they outperform beyond expectation, they outperform the competition and so on. So something quite incredible, really. And of course, the heart also is our center of inner strength, resilience. Nice quote from Sonia. Oops, I don't even dare to say her surname. Yeah, when your heart is clear, you don't take life personally. And we know what is meant by that. we are not emotionally entangled, we are not reactive, or we don't react negatively when there's an inner lightness, an inner freedom, again, which from my experience is the freedom that the heart facilitates. In my book, somewhere in terms of heart capacity building, which is still very new, I have written in different places, it is the overall condition and strength of your heart that determines how you respond to conflict, difficult situations, or challenging interactions. If you have questions, please write them down, keep them for the last 10 minutes of the session. We'll be delighted to take questions. Yeah. So, given how much we use the brain according to the introductory slides, almost all the time, including when we sleep, we need to have a look at how much we actually exercise, develop this heart capacity. So we exercise the body, hopefully a little bit, yeah, going for a walk, going to the gym, Tai Chi, etc., or gardening. You know, there's many ways to exercise the body. We focus on the mind, exercise and train, educate the mind. But how about the heart? So let us look at this heart in more detail. Now, again, 2 images from the book. So from the side to see that armpit level line. And then the second picture on the right shows that this heart is in the middle of the chest, in the center. So the physical heart is to the left and a little bit lower. I'm inviting you, if you want now, this will not count as exercise though, go to one of your armpits, touch there with like 1 or 2 fingers, maybe the middle finger, index finger, or middle finger, ring finger, it is for me. And just go in front of that armpit area and then draw a line across. And when you get exactly to the middle of your chest, your sternum, just stop there. So to touch our heart, this is what we do. Now, I will invite you shortly to an exercise. Hence, I'm inviting you to practice, yeah? So from the left or from the right, any hand will do, doesn't matter. Yeah, see where the arm connects to the body and then draw that line across, you get to the center of your chest. Now, every one of those heart connecting steps I will introduce in a moment will help to not only connect to your heart, but to build your heart strength, to achieve a greater balance between activity, capability, busyness of the mind, and the same for your heart. Activity of the heart, which some of you felt are quite beautiful feelings, capability, and the busyness of the heart too. So very cute little photo here. I hope you like it. But also to share, children naturally know more, come more from a place of heart, find it easier to drop into that heart space. Yeah. So the 5 natural core steps to activate, strengthen the heart, develop the heart is to be relaxed. Now, I briefly talk about it. Relaxation is important because when we're relaxed, the body feeds back to the brain, you can have time out. You don't need to move me now. Yeah, the body. So to be relaxed is important. Closing the eyes is important. Stimulation to the mind will then temporarily be stopped. We touch the heart in the way I just explained. So touching, not to do something, but to drop down to that heart center, to be able to easier be there and feel there. The next one is smile to the heart. Now, why the smiling is important, I believe you know that. If a friend or someone you love comes up to you and they smile, something lights up in you too. Or even a stranger in the street, a colleague at work. They walk up to you or you see that smile directed to you or not, something inside you lights up. So there is a connection between our smiling and the heart, and we want to make use of that. And then you want to keep feeling as you strengthen your heart, because the mind, the brain thinks, the brain has an active mind, so these the functions of the brain. Heart will feel and perceive the world through feeling. So when someone says to you, I love you, you can feel that. Yeah. Well, unless they just say it for saying sake, then of course you will not feel that. Yeah. So my invitation now is, I would like to share this with you. So I'm inviting you, if you want to participate, to go through the 5 steps as a practical exercise. So please be relaxed on your chair. And if you're not participating, it's okay too. You might want to try in your own time or sometimes later in your life. So close your eyes, relax your body, your mind. And then in the way I explained before, bring one of your hands to the point at the center of your chest. First few times helpful to make a line so you're not touching too high, too low. And just bring 2 fingertips to the center of your chest and just gently touch them. Now in moments you touch, allow yourself to be there with your feeling, to drop to your heart. And then start to smile, whatever is possible now. Just smile, and if your face, your lips can show and have that smile too, wonderful. And then with one intention, smile to your heart. Then all you want to do for a few minutes now, or when if you like it, if you want to practice this, all you want to do for a few moments now, a couple of minutes, stay relaxed. Keep your eyes closed, keep touching, and keep smiling freely to your heart. And just continuously smile freely. Stay relaxed. We can help the heart along a little bit. Stop smiling for a moment, but keep everything up. And then smile again. Smile really naturally to your heart. Continuously, and be there with your feeling. One more time. Stop smiling. Notice the subtle changes in feeling. Smiling in freely. Smiling in freely with feeling to your heart. And to have that feeling part, to have the initial parts of the practice, think of someone you love now or in the past. If you'd see the person, how would you smile? With what feeling? After you recall the person, smile maybe differently. Just smile like that to your heart. Let go of that person so you're no longer thinking or connecting to that help, but you just smile like that continuously to your heart for a few moments. And as you keep smiling like that to your heart, realize, how do you feel now? What is the feeling from my heart? How do I feel overall? Only for a few minutes, connecting to, activating, strengthening my heart more. And then please relax your hand back down. I'm inviting you to stay connected to your heart, because you might notice, even though we have attempted to connect more to the heart, your brain is still there. You've not been like turned off or hypnotized or something like that. So my invitation is to stay connected to your heart, open your eyes, and then I'd like you to type a couple of comments. What did you feel at any point? Overall is the more important question. How, perhaps at the level of your heart, what happened there? And please feel free to say anything, type anything. Yeah. My next slide already has some of the things you were saying. Stephanie, maybe the first few, I would be grateful if you could read them out.
Absolutely, Klaus. So flowing energy, nothing, warmth that radiates. Sense of release. Warmth has spread down to my belly. I feel like I have butterflies. Sense of calm, relaxed.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you, Stephanie. And of course, many more comments, I'm sure. Now, I start with the one not feeling anything. That's very, very normal. Yeah, we are doing a webinar here, a little bit. Hopefully, you don't mind saying a little bit artificial. But of course, it works. Yeah, and if you, yeah, like I said, it's quite normal that we have emphasized, we have trained our mind, and sometimes even we have learned to shut the heart down and shut the heart off, or yeah, practice it less than others. Everyone is a little bit different. I have not come across one single person, they maintain this exercise, and of course other things we teach in a workshop, who doesn't start to experience really beautiful feelings. Yeah, and what I explained earlier about the heart, calmness, it starts to radiate, it will make us feel lighter, unburdened. It's nice you start to feel that even in the first exercise. So thank you all for sharing. And I go to the next slide. Yeah. So the core heart feelings, the main core heart feelings we talked about already. Calmness, feeling light. Some of you may have even felt this gentle joy bubbling up. Yeah. And of course, we know about love, but love goes in two directions: of self-acceptance, which I find is a big topic for people, but also love for others at work, at home. Now, when you start to practice your heart, you can also go to my website. There's an audio you can download if you want to practice regularly with the help of an audio. It's a little bit better than the handout notes written, but both works. Sometimes you will feel some tears or sadness rising up. It's actually just a sign your heart is working. There's a clearing happening. 1 or 2% of what is being cleared, you will feel. 98, 95%, it will just be removed by your heart through that radiance without needing to feel it. Other emotions may come to the surface. Again, you keep smiling to your heart, you keep practicing, and you will cut through that and become more balanced, more calm, and the disposition to respond emotionally in a heavy way will also start to dissipate and be dissolved. I move forward again, responding to the exercise and your first experiences. Also, be patient, give your heart time. Yeah, the core steps will work. We need to train practice like with everything else. No one will play Wimbledon having one coaching session, tennis. Yeah, we need to have coaching session, then we need to practice, and a couple of other tips. And again, you have that in your handout. Yeah, and over time, invariably positive feelings that will start to radiate to others. So as you make a commitment to your own heart, people around you will naturally benefit from it. So actually something quite beautiful. And again, whether it's at work or at home, and not necessarily, or even, well, in particularly, not needing to speak. A page from my website, there's some beautiful sharings there. People who had significant challenges in life and used the heart, and there's video clips you can listen to. It's very nice to listen to them and listen with your heart and mind. So I do work in workplaces, so I just want to briefly talk about that. This is an acting CEO. I did a one-on-one session with the person now. So you can read the quote, very courageous for someone in that role to admit that. That person later on joined the one-day Bridging Heart and Mind program. I remember that. The impacts of even 4-hour heart-centered wellness session very significant. In terms of overall feeling, 53% improvement. In terms of the feeling from the heart, this is really what we talked about. Benefits reduced, no, burdens reduced, positive feelings, naturally more present, 75%. Negative emotions currently there or disposition to be like that, 80% reduction. So this is very, very significant. A few more quotes. James O'Neill, some of you may know Quartz Consulting. He was the founder of Quartz Consulting. Most impactful moving session I experienced in my entire professional life. And the lawyer shared in more detail how it impacts positively on the person's life. Some of you from the North may know Ella Dixon, state government employee, now CEO of Migrant Resource Center. Had some experiences too. Stephen Covey, I thought I put him up there. I like his work, some of it, but look, I have a lot of respect for the man. So in terms of continuing learning, if you were interested what we did today, would love to talk to you about organizational workshops, some one-on-one work, can be through work or in person. You can download the audio. There's one audio up on my Facebook, not my website, on the yourheartcanhelp.org page under resources. There'll be 3 others. I'm currently updating everything. There'll be 3 others in the next couple of weeks. So there's a pathway of deepening of your heart learning. And those downloadable audios, the first one is like what, $1 or so. Yeah. There are community-based heart learning avenues. So you just Google heart learning or heart meditation, you will find access to those. The pathway of learning in the workplace is quite simple, and it was timely to, or appropriate to be here under the banner of mental well-being, resilience. The first steps and the first help from your heart will be improving your well-being, overall feeling, and improving resilience. As you then build your heart capacity, it will be about engagement at home and work, how we help, how we serve, it's how we become a team player, how the whole team works better. And then I already talked about the leadership qualities. And what will improve is your happiness, your level of fulfillment, and being aligned with a deeper inner purpose that your heart knows, your heart can not only feel, your heart is more aligned to that than any of our sometimes inverted commas good ideas. Some quotes from well-known people that emphasize again, out there people know, people refer to the heart. Of course, I see those quotes a lot. To be successful, you have to have your heart in the business and your business in your heart. Customization is possible with all those programs, and I don't want to talk about, I believe it's in your handout. I had joy to, with COVID and so on, to do more work online. This is a executive manager, very stressed, German-based international Fortune 500 company. We probably did 15 sessions. And fantastic how the person has gone from feeling very, very stressed and anxious about losing a job and everything that hangs off a job to now feeling very, very peaceful and even being able to assist others through a very powerful process of redundancies, workplace changes, and so on. Luxury car company, I can say that much. I'm not allowed to give the person's details away. So a couple of slides about my book before we come to an end. There are 9 life chapters in the book. So if you want to improve areas of your life, your personal growth, your family, relationships, stories with your children, every life chapter, life aspect is represented. You don't need to read it back to front for 300 pages. Very affordable, especially as ebook. 15 key heart helpers are in there, so you can actually just focus on the essence of the book. Complementary exercises, the stories are very inspirational. I feel like I've just been a facilitator pulling all of that together. So it's not really my book from another perspective. The heart learning, I referred to that already. There's free tools on the website. There is the audio you can download. So I just want to briefly show that. Again, I believe it's in your handout. Also in the handout are my contact details. You're welcome to be in touch. I'd love to do presentation. Is on my website too. Is you can invite me for pro bono presentation. Probably pro bono limited to government and not for profit, but everything is negotiable, of course. And I believe, another baby, I had to put it there. I believe that is all my topics I wanted to touch on and discuss with you. Thank you very much. Would like to open the floor for any questions now.
Thank you, Klaus. So yes, if anyone has any questions or any further comments that you would like to make about today's presentation, please type those questions and comments into the questions pane. And just to remind everyone, if you didn't or you weren't able to download the handout that Klaus has referred to during his presentation, then we will email that to those individuals who attended today's presentation. As well, I just would like to remind everyone that this week is Mental Health Week. As Klaus mentioned, mental health is close to his heart, and therefore today's last presentation for this week of WorkSafe Month webinars was quite apt. Tomorrow is also International Mental Health Day. So again, please take some time to take care of your mental health.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thanks, Klaus. Are there any further sort of last points or key thoughts that you would like to share with the audience?
Look, I just want to invite, we still have 4 minutes. If you have had any experiences before doing those exercises, they look simple to the mind, but if you, for example, would practice that heart strengthening, heart connecting for a month, you would become very, very calm, relaxed, feeling clear and more. So I'm really happy to take even comments or what I call sharing. You share your experience, good, bad, middle, of the range, because this is a weird thing to say perhaps for me, but not really. The heart is very logical. So when you understand your heart, it's even more logical than the brain. Now we can change our mind, and you know some people in your life who do that. They change their mind every few seconds or minutes or even from day to day. And it's a bit unsettling, yeah. But when we talk about the change of heart, we talk about something deep, something that is lasting, something that's positive. So if you want to share something still, you're very welcome. So can be question, can be any of your experience. We have still 3 minutes. So I'm just talking while people perhaps write a question or write sharing of an experience. I can see 53 people still hanging about, which is, and look, why people still type perhaps. I'm very grateful, very honored, and feel very humbled by such a beautiful response to the seminar. I wholeheartedly wish you a most beautiful life, and please consider including the heart in your curriculum of learning or training or fitness program. The wording not important. Are we going for questions, Stephanie?
Nothing's coming through, Klaus. So maybe everyone is in a relaxed state.
I'm happy now. I'm happy still to wait the 2 minutes. So, and if that's okay. Oh, I'm moving the mouse, and yeah, very happy to have people be in touch, stay in touch, email, add me. My Facebook is very open. I have a LinkedIn profile, so I respond to messages on LinkedIn, Facebook, WhatsApp. I'm not sure whether my mobile number is there, but that can easily be found out. And then, of course, email. So I'm really happy to be in touch with people. And apologies sometimes for being a little bit rushed. 1 hour, of course, was a beautiful time allocation and sufficient, but yeah.
All right. Thank you, Klaus. sorry, let's say it again. Thank you, Klaus Baur, founder of Heart to Heart Foundation, and thank you to everyone for attending today's webinar, Powerful Resilience, Mental and Physical Health Through Heart and Mind Work. Once you do leave today's webinar, you will receive a survey on the presentation. We do appreciate you providing us with your feedback. Today's webinar has been recorded and will be made available at the end of WorkSafe month on our YouTube page and our website too. On behalf of WorkSafe Tasmania and the WorkCover Tasmania board, thank you for joining us, and thank you, Klaus.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Mary. And again, thank you everyone for joining today. Feel very grateful to be here today.